Welcome to our show, Feel Good Food,
where we make snacks, treats, and meals
that taste good, but also make you feel good.
I'm Max.
I'm Lydia.
And today we are making a butternut squash soup with a spicy coconut chutney.
This recipe really came from, well, you via your mom.
Yeah, this is something my mom made a lot growing up, and it's kind of this perfect signal into the winter months, and it really comforts you. It's nice and warm and has a lot of spice to it and some sweetness, and it really is kind of this perfect dish to get you ready and enjoy winter.
And it has some really beautiful spice notes to it, partly because the croutons are coated with this really beautiful cumin, coriander spice mix, and they're so delicious when they like melt into the soup and it all kind of blends together. The first thing we need to do is toast our spices. What I really love is that the soup has a chutney. It's a cilantro chutney, and we're using coriander seeds to coat the bread, and coriander seeds are the seeds of cilantro. So there's a really beautiful cohesion there.
Yeah, now you want a nice low temperature when you're doing your toasting of any seeds or any spices, because you don't want to burn them too hard. You kind of want that low temperature to keep toasting them.
The wonderful thing about toasting these spices is you know when they're ready because there starts to be this really wonderful aroma. Okay, so while those are toasting, should we start prepping this gorgeous loaf of bread?
You know, day-old bread or 2-day-old bread always makes the best crouton because it's already a little bit dried out. So it kind of gets that process going already for you. So I think we're just gonna cut this bread in half or maybe in quarters. You're just gonna wanna start tearing your bread into this bowl and kind of feel free to tear however big you want.
It's really nice when the bread is a bite-sized piece and when you're taking a beautiful sip of your soup, you can just get a full breadcrumb in there. Okay, so these are starting
so make sure
okay, I don't know how to do that, so you're just gonna
Here, let me show you really. And you just want to like use the front lip of the pan just to flip them just gently so that you get that consistent movement from like really hot to cool.
I can try. I can't do it.
No worries. All right, we'll keep going. So yeah, just gonna keep tearing this bread.
Now we want to grind these spices up in a mortar and pestle. Do you mind grabbing that, Max?
Yeah, of course.
You can see that the spices now are a little darker than when we first put them in, and you can't smell it, but I can, and they smell good. If you have a really big mortar and pestle like this, I mean, this is a great mortar and pestle. Grinding takes, that took probably like 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was really quick. Okay, so this looks great. So the next step is going to be dressing this bread with the olive oil. And it's important in this step to really be generous with this olive oil because you want the bread to soak that up, and that's what's really gonna harden and crisp up your bread in the oven.
And we can also salt a little bit at this point. We'll salt again when we mix the breadcrumbs with the spices. I'm a big fan of the claw, so I'm going for it right now. Okay, let's toss this in the oven. So now it's time to prep all the ingredients for the soup, which is the butternut squash, the ginger, the onion, the turmeric. This will be our vessel for the soup. Beautiful, you can get this at Food52. We're going to first put these onions in because they will sweat for 8 minutes. And I'm just peeling this butternut. You definitely want to go in with multiple peels at the same spot to get to the layer where you start to see actually the bright, vibrant orange of the butternut, because this first layer where it's a little more white and green isn't going to taste good.
I like these strips that you got going on here.
What's wrong with them?
They're just very artistic.
I like the shape of this butternut is fascinating to me. It reminds me of like a spaceship launching.
I wonder what affects the shape of a butternut squash.
Let us know if there are any butternut squash farmers out there who can tell us why some butternuts are long and some are short. So the recipe calls for 1 to 2 inch nubs of ginger and turmeric. I would err on the conservative side and go for more of the 1 inch nub, just because if your soup is super gingery, it becomes kind of the only flavor you can taste. I'm also going to peel some turmeric, which is another beautiful part of this recipe.
I'm gonna start cutting the squash into our cubes.
Oh yeah, the breadcrumbs are ready. They're a beautiful golden color. They're sizzling in that olive oil.
So sticky.
They've kind of shrunken a little bit to the perfect bite size. So these are gorgeous. And while they're still warm, I wanna get them into a bowl, and remember that toasted spice mixture we did at the beginning of the episode, that's coming into play. Okay, so we can put these to the side and get back to the butternut.
We're just gonna give this a quick stir while this is in here to kind of, you know, mix those onions around, get that squash on the bottom of the pot a little bit.
I'm just gonna cut my turmeric nub in half and put the whole thing in.
Yeah, toss those in there.
And then my ginger nub, I probably don't even have to cut this one in half, but I'm just gonna do it for consistency's sake. And then to help with the steaming process, we're just gonna add 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of water.
Now that this water has come up, I'm just gonna cover this and turn down the heat to a low temperature so it steams for about 20 to 30 minutes until your squash is really tender.
In this pot, I already have some warm water. I'm gonna bring it back up to a boil. This is what I'm going to be using to blanch the almond. Blanching to me, when I first started cooking, I feel like was weirdly intimidating. Like I'm like, oh God, the recipe calls for blanching. I can't do that, next recipe. But blanching is literally so easy. It actually takes truly 1 minute. And popping the almonds out of their skin is deeply satisfying. While that water's coming up to a boil,
let's get all the ingredients ready for our chutney.
For this chutney, we're using cilantro, coconut, lime, 2 jalapenos. We keep the seeds in one of them and take the seeds out in the other. Keeping one with the seeds does give it a kick. So it's not for the faint of heart.
So the water is boiling, so we're gonna get these almonds into this water.
We have 3 seedless dates. I think we'll probably just use 2 of them.
Yeah, I think we should do a quality control now. You know, just make sure the ingredients we're working with are what we're looking for. You know,
make sure it's not poisonous.
Yeah, make sure it's not poisonous. It's always really important when you're cooking.
I need to make sure as well.
Now I'm just going to strain these almonds out of the bowl. And one kind of way to know that these are ready also is that the skin really does start to separate, and you can see that the moisture of the water got under there. So we know those are gonna really pop out easily once we let them cool.
And then we are going to get started on our chutney. Max, how would you describe a chutney?
A chutney is the combination in my mind of something sweet and salty in a sauce, whether it's like a reduced fruit or a bunch of spices or a bunch of herbs. It's that kind of combination of both of those things.
Yeah, so this chutney, we have the spiciness of the jalapeno, we have the sweetness of the dates, we have the cilantro, the shredded coconut, unsweetened. The lime juice loosens up the mixture a little bit. I like to juice my limes with a fork. Quickly de-skin these almonds.
They should pop out very easily.
We use 1/4 cup of water just to loosen this up. I'm gonna start with probably just like a tablespoon, a tiny bit of oil as well.
And then we'll add a little bit of salt.
And because this is more of kind of a paste situation, you are going to have to, in intervals, scrape down the bowl a couple times.
Maybe just a tiny bit more oil.
We're gonna return to the butternut squash and add the final flavor bomb ingredient, which is the zest and the juice of this orange. And we're gonna add the chicken stock. If you want to make this a fully vegetarian dish, use vegetable stock. We're gonna keep this on the stove,
Yeah, we're gonna get
lid off at this point, bring it up to a low boil. Then when it gets to that point, it will be ready to put it in the blender, blitz it, pass it through a sieve, and then we're eating soup. And then we're going to pour the soup back into the pot that it originally cooked in. And now it's kind of a clean vessel that the soup will go back into.
I think we are just about ready to plate.
We are. I'm just gonna do a generous dollop of the chutney.
Do you want to try to do a presentation dollop?
Well, what's that?
Like
This is where Max's history of being a Michelin star line cook.
I don't know if this is gonna work really well, but I think it's called a quenelle, right? It's like what you do with ice cream.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
And then, I mean, it's not perfect, but you can maybe try to place it right in the middle, like that. So now I'm gonna go with the breadcrumbs, and I think I'm just gonna like decorate around the bowl a little bit, you know? Just drop them in. I'm gonna add a drizzle of olive oil on top of mine. Lydia, would you like some too?
Yes, please.
My way to eat this is I take just a bite of the chutney and soup instead of, some people spread it around.
Your dad does that. He mixes it all
in. He does
in.
mix it in. Which is nice because then you get a little bit in every bite, but I kind of like a nice dollop of that chutney, which is coated. I'm gonna go for a breadcrumb too, so a little bit of everything in the same bite. So good.
It's so good. This is really the perfect fall, winter, early spring dish. Wait, have I ever told you that I don't actually like soup that much?
No.
But I know that's a crazy thing for me to say at the end of this episode, but I'm only saying it because I love this soup. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Feel Good Food. You can find this recipe at Food52.
And we'll see you next time.